Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to be ranking the David Tennant specials from 2008 and 2009. And of course, we have 4 stories to go through. And I'm going to start at the bottom with my least favorite. And this is going to be a very unpopular choice, I think. And it's The Waters of Mars. And I'm not quite sure why this one doesn't click with me, because it's objectively a very good story. It's kind of in the same situation as Midnight, where it's objectively a great story, and it does a lot of good things. But for some reason, I don't really click with it. It has parts I like, but it's never one I like to go back and rewatch a lot now. I did a bit when it was originally coming out, and the Tennant era, and the Matt Smith era, etc., etc. My sinuses today. I don't know why I don't quite click with it, because the story is a good story. The flaws of the 10th Doctor really come to the foreground in this one. The narcissism, the arrogance really come to a head here when he kind of just goes into that whole Time Lord Victorious thing. And that's cool. I like that in the ending, with him getting angry and getting frustrated with rules that he's bound by, and kind of doing his own thing to save everyone. And then when Lindsay Duncan fixes things, Lindsay Duncan's great in this, by the way. She's really, really good in this. When she fixes things, which was a shocking moment for me, I was like, whoa. And he realizes how he's overstepped and what he's done, and when he says, I've gone too far, that's a really cool moment. And how he refuses to face the Ood, and how he leaves, he goes no and runs. It's odd to see the Doctor this scared of potential death. But then again, he usually doesn't know it's coming either. He's already been foretold at this point he's about to die. The zombies, I think that's part of the problem with this, is I am just kind of burned out on zombies. Even at this point, I was kind of getting zombie fatigue when this episode was coming out, or right after this episode. I was still enjoying it in like video games and stuff like Left 4 Dead, but just in like TV and movies, I was really burning out on zombies, because I'd always been a big fan of zombies growing up, even like in the 90s and the early 2000s, before they really caught back on again. So by this point, I was already burning out on them. It's a neat concept with the water, and the way they do their design with the water pouring out is a neat concept, and the idea that water can be this deadly. I love when Doctor Who takes something common and turns it deadly. So we're talking about water, something that we're made up mostly of, something we have to survive, and it's turning deadly into an actual living entity, basically, that can just possess people. That's fascinating. It's a great concept. I like the idea that the Doctor is at what for us is the future, but is a historical event, kind of like the way we think of historical events in our history. This is, a fixed point in time. It's history. It's a tragedy. Even though it hasn't happened for us, it's in our future, so to speak, fictional future. This is an established event that 100 years from now, people are looking back going, whoa, what happened there? So that's pretty neat. I like the idea of future historical events. I don't know. I find that interesting. The guest cast are fine. I like that there's a little bit of humor weaved throughout the story. Doctor the Doctor fun. I like when he name dropped the Ice Warriors in it, because we hadn't seen the Ice Warriors in New Who at this point. So when he mentions the Ice Warriors, I'm sitting there going, that was nice for me. It's an objectively good, much like Midnight, it's objectively good, just subjectively it rubs me the wrong way for reasons I'm not quite sure about. I'm not quite too keen on the zombie face design either. I mean, it's really well done, and the actors do a good job of portraying being inhuman, much like the zombie ghost in Unquiet Dead do. It's very unnerving. But something about the design, maybe it's the mouth, maybe it's too much water, I don't know, it just rubs me the wrong way. Next on the list, and all 3 of the others I really like a lot, so it's really hard to rank the rest. But next on the list is The Next Doctor. Man, my sinuses are really up today. The weather here is very bipolar. So it's 80 degrees one day and 50 degrees the next. So my sinuses are playing catch up. The Next Doctor I really like. One, because I just think Morrissey is really good in this role. The Governor, he is really good. I like this Doctor because you could see him being a doctor. Like, if he had ever been cast as a doctor, I think it'd have been great. I love the fact he has more of a kind of classic Who outfit. It has all the colors and stuff on it. I really like that. I love his outfit. I like learning. I love the scenes at first when he still thinks he's the Doctor. You know, when him and David Tennant are both like, Allons-y at the beginning. When they're chasing the kind of cyber monkey thing and it's pulling them across. And they look like they're having the time of their lives. And when they fall down, they both stand up. And even though they're sore, they're laughing about it. I love the camaraderie there. And I love the fact that they did edit out some of the scenes so you could keep the mystery about Jackson Lake going longer. I love the scene when David Tennant reveals who he is and why he thinks he's the Doctor, and he actually shows him the info stamp, and it shows all of the Doctors, all 10 of at the time Doctors. And I love that because I think that's the first time Modern Who did that, where you really had a sequence of showing all of the previous Doctors. I mean, we have a better version of it in the 11th hour, which is awesome, but this was the first time it did it here. And I remember the first time I watched the episode seeing, Troughton and Baker and Pertwee, and I'm sitting here going, it really was one of those yay fist pump moments. I'm like, I'm seeing all of my Doctors. I love that. That was really nice. The woman in it, the one that's working with the Cybermen, she's great. I like her as an actress. She does a really good job in this. It jumps the shark at the end, I will admit, with the whole Cyber King thing. That's very much jumping the shark. It's a little much, especially since no one ever remembers it later. And yes, I know it addresses that later in Matt Smith's era about time being unwritten. But it's still a little silly. A little over the top. I enjoy the episode. It has more objective flaws than Waters of Mars, but I still enjoy watching it more, if that makes sense. So it ranks a little higher. Number 2 on the list is End of Time. I think the 10th Doctor and the Master go off each other really well here. They have really good chemistry together. And I like that the sense they used to be friends is definitely there. You can feel that. I love having Wilf back in it, and Bernard is just great anytime he's there as Wilf. I love the 10th Doctor and Wilf together. They're great. I like Timothy Dalton as Rassilon. That's cool. The whole Master turning the whole planet into copies of himself, a planet of masters, is a little silly. I'll be honest, it's a little silly. But I'm there for it. It's fine. I love the extended ending. I know some people don't, but I feel like the 10th Doctor earns it since he was a lot of people's first Doctor that they really got attached to, people who kind of, younger people who started with the modern series, because Eccleston was kind of there and then gone, so it's the first Doctor they'd really had a chance to grow with over years, so I think it's good he had his extended goodbye, especially since the 10th Doctor really liked being the 10th Doctor. It works for the character and it works for the audience, so I actually think that's done really well. I actually really enjoy End of Time. And then my personal favorite is Planet of the Dead. I really like Planet of the Dead a lot. And I know it seems to be a lot of people's least favorites. One, I think Tennant's great in it. Also, his hair is magnificent in it. He's really good in it. I really like Michelle Ryan in it. I love, not only is her acting good, but her character is great. Her and the 10th Doctor are so good together. I want more of them together. And I know Big Finish has done more with them together. They have this kind of flirty relationship that I like, because I know most of the time I'm like most people, I don't like relationships with the Doctor and companions, like the puppy love between Rose and Tim. But I like that kind of will they, won't they, witty, flirty banter that she has. I also like it with Matt Smith and Clara. It's one of the reasons I wish Matt Smith had stayed another season. I think Matt Smith and Clara are really good together. They had this weird, fun, energetic, kind of not flirty, witty banter, and that's what I like. I'm like that. Especially when I was younger, I was really like that. I liked somebody I could pick at, who would pick at me, and we would rib each other. Still kind of like that, just not quite to that extent. I like somebody that when I'm dating, that I can joke with, that'll sit there and rib me, and that I can rib back. Not all the time, because that could get a little tiresome if you do it 24/7. But I want somebody clever and intelligent, and that's kind of what I go for in relationships. So that's what I like to see with the 10th Doctor. I like how him and her in Planet of the Dead have that witty banter, and it's fantastic when they're going back and forth. We would have been wonderful together. We were. I like that. You speak their language? Every language. But you don't have to. You're an alien? Yeah, but you don't have to kiss me either. I don't know. I really enjoyed their chemistry together, and I really would have liked to have seen more of them. It's got Malcolm in it, and I really like Malcolm as a character. He's kind of like the proto-Osgood, and I like Osgood, but I like Malcolm better. I love the fact he's just a fanboy of the Doctor, like Osgood is. You know, he's kind of like us. You know, we're fanboys of the Doctor. He's very much a fanboy of the Doctor. And I like how the Doctor hangs up on him because he's busy, and then later he hangs up on the Doctor because he's busy. I'll call you back. He hung up on me. He hung up on me. I love that. You named you know, a unit of energy after yourself. Well, it didn't do so bad for Mr. Watt now, did it? I love Malcolm. He's great. And then I like the woman that's playing the captain or major, the one that's in charge of unit there. I really like her a lot. She really does feel like a 21st century brigadier. She is great. I like when she salutes and he's like on the phone. He's like, "Did you just salute?" She's like, "No." I love that. And then she has to make those hard choices of, do I give him a little longer to come back through? Do I close it? You know, do I close the portal for the safety of the universe? That's very much a situation you can see the Brigadier in, and that he would be agonizing over. You know, he wants to save his friend or this person that, you know, he or she knows is, you know, important to the world. But at the same time, they have the threat of the world to have to worry about, the threat to the world to have to worry about. That's a hard set of shoes to be in. So I think she does a really good job with that. So I enjoy her in that. And then the people on the bus are fun. I like the people on the bus. They do a good job. So yeah, I really like Planet of the Dead. It's fun. If I had to sum it up in one word, it's fun. It's a very fun story, and I like fun stories. So I enjoy that. So that is me ranking these specials. What else do I want to talk about? Oh yeah, I think I mentioned I went with a friend of mine, my friend Eric, down to Lafayette to hit up a toy collectibles store. We went down there a few days ago and picked up some new stuff. I picked up some Super 7 figures. Super 7 makes these Thundercat figures I have right here, but they also do some other stuff. I picked up some of their Ninja Turtle figures. I already had the Michelangelo, but I picked up the reissue of Raphael. I picked up the Donatello that just came out, and I picked up the reissue of Baxter Stockman. They're all over there actually, and they look phenomenal. I love Super 7 stuff. I also picked up a vintage Prince Adam from Masters of the Universe, the actual 80s figure, complete. That's hard to find. So I got that in good shape. I picked up a Masters of the Universe Origins Buzzsaw Hordak and a Masters of the Universe Classics Mara, which is a New Adventures character. I've been meaning to get that figure for about 8 years, so I went ahead and got that out of the way. And picked up a Star Trek The Next Generation Playmates Season 2 Counselor Troy figures. I didn't have that yet. So it was a nice little haul, and Eric picked up a few things he liked as well. So we enjoyed our little Lafayette trip. It's nice to get away every now and then. Other things to do: click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications so you never miss out on another video. I also have a Patreon if you like what I do and would like to contribute to what I do. There is a link to that down in the description below. I want to give a special shout out to one of my top tier patrons, Stephen Crane. I really appreciate his support, just as I appreciate the support of all of my patrons. I also have a P.O. box. If there's anything you would like to send me, my P.O. box is down in the description as well. If there's anything you want me to do an unboxing video and a review of. And I also have an Amazon wish list, which has been updated recently. So that is down in the description below as well if you want to check that out. Most importantly, though, thank you for watching.